Hello guys, hello. So welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be talking about the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We'll be unboxing it. Yeah, so I'm giving a shout out to Zolotech. Yeah, he has made it possible for this video, for this unboxing of the iPhone. He has made it possible. So credit to him for making this video a reality. So I'll be taking you through the video that he did, and of him unboxing the phone, uh, the setup, the first look, like pretty much everything that will go on. So without wasting my time, let's go to the computer and let's start rolling. So let's listen to it, guys.
Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and this is the brand new iPhone 12. Now this particular one is the new blue color, and it comes in 5 different colors this year: black, white, product red, green, and this new blue color. Now it starts at $100 more than last year's iPhone 11 when that came out, so that means it's $799 for 64 gigabytes of storage, $849 for 128 gigabytes, or $949 for 256 gigabytes of storage. It's $30 more if you want the fully unlocked version, so you get the lesser price if you get it through a carrier. Now, this is the 256 gigabyte variant, so let's go ahead and unbox it and take a first look. Now, as you can see, the box actually says just iPhone on it. It's very thin compared to what we had before, so here's an iPhone SE box for comparison. It's about half the thickness or 2/3 the thickness or so, and let's go ahead and open it up. So we'll open this up here. And let's take the top off the box. And so you can see there's the blue color. We don't have any piece of plastic or anything on the back. We just have the front, which is now more a piece of paper instead of plastic. Let's go ahead and remove this.
Oh, wow.
And you can see here's the phone itself. So it looks really good. Now this comes in at 5.78 ounces or 164 grams. It's not very heavy. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit more heavy, but maybe the Pro model will be. So we'll set this aside for now. Let's take a look at what's in the box. And so we have our Lightning to USB-C cable. So as you can see here, we have USB-C to Lightning. And then in the box, we have a smaller size pamphlet with a SIM ejector tool. Then we just have a little guide and then a single Apple sticker. And so we just have this singular white Apple sticker. I would love if they'd match them with the color, but they don't do that. Now we don't have a charge adapter, of course.
Oh.
You'll need to either use MagSafe for that, which we'll talk about a little bit later, or you'll need to buy an adapter. Now if you have an iPhone 11 Pro, you won't have a problem, or an iPad with the USB-C adapter, you won't have a problem. But
So pretty much the new iPhones, the iPhone 12 that is coming out, what that is trying to say is it won't be coming with a charger port. You know, the head that you put in your USB, it won't be coming out with it. But if you are using iPhone 11, I think Pro going, you are in a kind of like a comfort zone. Yeah, but yeah, or an iPad. So probably with this one, if you have a MacBook, it will be easier for you to be able to charge your phone with it. Or basically, you just have to go and buy the wireless charger, or kind of like use their product. So pretty much, iPhone is trying to play smart. You know, no charger, so you get go and buy a charger port. It's all about business, man. Let's continue with the video.
we'll need to get something to charge this. This will work with a MacBook or anything else that's USB-C though. Now as a comparison with last year's iPhone 11, you can see here the iPhone 12 is a little bit shorter and it looks to be a little bit narrower. So if we look at the sides here, it's also a little bit thinner. So it's not as tall, and if you look at it this way, it's not as wide, and it looks pretty good, but it has a similar size display. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So let me turn it on. and then we'll go around the outside of the phone, talk about the display and everything else. So there we go, it's booting up. And so on the left-hand side, just like always, we have our volume buttons with our silent switch above that, and then an antenna band. On the top, nothing but an antenna band. On the other side, a power sleep wake button, our millimeter wave 5G antenna, that's what this cutout is, another antenna line, and then on the bottom, we've got our lightning adapter in the middle, and then microphone and speaker, just like you would expect. Now the display is an OLED display. It's a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR. There's no compromises as far as quality this year between any of the models. The one disadvantage is it doesn't have 120 Hertz. So this particular display is 2532 by 1170 with 460 pixels per inch. It can go up to 625 nits of brightness, supports HDR and True Tone, and has the new ceramic shield, so hopefully it holds up a little bit better than last year's. Now internally it has an A14 Bionic chipset and 4 gigabytes of RAM, although we'll confirm that a little bit later. Let's talk about the cameras and then we'll set it up. Now as far as the rear cameras, on the back we have two 12 megapixel cameras just like last year, but the ultra-wide has an f2.4 aperture and the wide, which is the newer lens, is an f1.6 to allow more light in. Last year we had an f1.8 aperture. We've got 2x optical zoom and 5x digital zoom with Dolby Vision HDR. Now on the front, we have a very similar camera to last year. It's a 12 megapixel true depth camera with an f2.2 aperture, and they both, front and back, can do 4K 60 video. Now let's go ahead and turn it on. Of course, we do have stereo speakers. We'll talk about more later, but we've got stereo on the bottom and top. So let's go to the setup.
So he's about to set up the phone so you can get more insight about how the phone is, how the iPhone 12 is. So if you're looking forward to get one, this is a video that you need to watch, so enlighten you, to give you more understanding of what to do, you know. So hey, let's continue.
It says hola, we'll go to English, and let me set it up from my iPhone 11. So I've added my Apple ID. It wants me to add the passcode from my iPhone 11 on the iPhone 12, and now it's setting up the phone. This will take a few minutes. Now, a couple quick notes while we're waiting for that, and this phone is very flat. In fact, it's very much like the iPhone 5. The screen does not sit beyond the outside aluminum rail here that we have, and it looks really good. So I really like the squared off edges. I miss that from the iPhone 4, 4S, 5, and 5S, so I'm glad to have it back. I know not everybody's super happy about that, but I like it. The blue color is really a dark, rich blue color. Hopefully it's as color accurate as can be so you can see it. And then the camera cutout is a matte finish, just like last year. So I really like the overall look of it. I like that the sides are matte as well. That shows less fingerprints, so this should be pretty nice to use. So we'll wait for it to set up. Let's set up Face ID. We'll hit continue. We'll hit get started, and let's go ahead and set it up. Just move my head around here.
Oh wow.
Hit continue. We'll do it again. And there we go. So Face ID is set up. I'll hit continue and continue the setup. Now I'll move my SIM card into this so we can test out 5G as well. But let me go ahead and hit agree.
Can't wait to see
go
this
through
5G.
the setup. Now at this point we can set it up as a new phone or restore from a backup. I'm not going to transfer anything just to get it set up quickly. We'll go ahead and hit continue, and it says keep your phone up to date. We'll hit continue. Now we don't have to do this. We can set it up manually as far as automatic updates. Normally there was an option, so this has changed with this version. So we'll wait for it here. It's asking me if I want to set up Apple Pay. This screen is a little bit different, it looks like, but I'll set it up later. Now it's asking me if I want to improve Siri and dictation, sharing audio recordings, or not now. I'll say not now. Share app analytics. You can share with developers or not. And then you can change the display zoom. I'll leave it standard. And it says welcome to iPhone. And so now we're on the main home screen, and it looks familiar. Of course, it's what you would expect with an iPhone. Those black borders are a little bit striking, but the bezels are nice and thin, and it looks like an iPhone. Now let's take a look and see what version is pre-installed. So we'll go to Settings, and we'll go to General and About. You can see it has version 14.1 on it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the wallpapers, see if we have anything new. We'll go to Wallpaper, choose a new wallpaper. So we'll go here, go to stills, nothing new here.
Okay.
Then we'll go back one, and under live we have some new ones. So this is the blue iPhone. I'll select blue, set both. And again, if you go in here, it will animate if you press on the screen, although this display is haptic touch. It is not 3D touch.
Yeah.
So you get the idea there. So we'll go home, and now we have the new wallpaper.
Nice.
Now, other than that, of course, there's a lot of new features with this phone. One of them is you can charge with MagSafe. And so let me show you the magnets underneath here. And you can see with this magnet paper, there's some magnets underneath, and that's the ring, and you can charge with that. Now, let's go ahead and plug the charger on, and it's on there pretty tight. Doesn't look like it's going to fall off at all. And it says, well, I went into notes, but you'll see it's charging. Let's see if there's an animation for that. Now let's go to the lock screen and see what it's like.
Okay.
There we go. There's a nice animation. And then there's supposed to be an animation if you use different color cases with it. And let's try the blue case.
Oh, okay.
There we go. There's a blue ring. Try it again with plum just to see what it looks like on the lock screen. And now it's a plum color. So you'll see that it changes based on the case you put on. It's just a nice little touch that we're used to with Apple. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other features. One of them being the camera. The camera has Dolby Vision HDR. So let's go down to camera here and see what options we have. So you've got different things for scene detection, of course, smart HDR. We'll turn on grid. And then, of course, like I said, recording video, you can go up to 4K 60.
Wow.
HDR video here is an option, so record up to 30 frames per second in 10-bit high dynamic range, including Dolby Vision. So we'll test that at the end of the video. I'll record with this camera in HDR and see what it's like. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the camera, and you can see there's the rear camera, photo mode.
That's cute.
We'll go into the other options so we can adjust exposure and things like that, just like some of the newer iOS 14 features. But let's go back, and we'll go back to video. So let's just record a quick video. So I'll hit record, and you can see here's the quality out of the video camera. This is the rear camera. You can see there's the iPhone 12 Pro back there, and in general, it looks pretty good on.
Man, so far I'm loving this phone, man. So far, I just wish to get one. Man, the phone is really cool, and the camera quality, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it, guys.
Display, nice and vibrant, nice and bright. And then let's go back to photo. We'll take a photo here. You'll see it darkens considerably. And if we zoom in, it's pretty sharp. The quality looks pretty good. So it'll be pretty interesting to try this out a little bit more extensively. And then also let's spin around the forward-facing camera. And of course, this is the forward-facing camera. So we'll hit record here. We're in 4K 30, and now we're recording with the forward-facing camera of the iPhone 12. And so I wouldn't really expect too much of a difference other than with the neural engine helping out a little bit. But let me know what video you like best in the comments below. Now also, let's try out 5G, see what that's like. So we'll pop out the SIM card tray 5G here. Now one thing to note is this is dual SIM, but if you're using dual SIM, it won't be able to use 5G in the way that you would think. So it's, I guess, not able to do it when you're using dual SIM. You won't get the full advantage of 5G, but let's try out 5G. So we'll wait for it to set up my carrier. It will take just a moment. I know that I have 5G, but 5G will intelligently switch between 5G and 4G to save battery life. So let me turn off Wi-Fi, and it says 5G. So let's go in, download a couple apps. We'll see what the RAM is like in here, and also test out 5G speeds where I'm at. Now I've installed two applications, Geekbench 5, and you can see we have Apple's A14 Bionic running at 2.99 gigahertz and 3.62 gigabytes of RAM. So you can expect 4 gigabytes of RAM in this phone. And then also let's do a quick speed test to see what we've got. So we're on T-Mobile 5G. I've only got a couple bars here, but I do have 5G, and
Wow.
Normally I get at least half that or less than half of that on 4G. So 124 megabits per second down. Of course, this is not millimeter wave. If I had that, it could be a gigabit per second down or more. Upload is, right now, it's hitting about 14 megabits per second up, which is actually pretty good for T-Mobile service here. So it just depends where you're at, but 132 down by 13.5 up, I'd say that's pretty good for 5G for just 2 bars of service. And that would improve based on your location, whether or not you're using millimeter wave with that new antenna. And that's only available in the United States on Verizon. So I don't have millimeter wave, I don't think, as far as T-Mobile, but I'll have to check that later on. Now, battery life is supposedly about the same as the iPhone 11 unless you're using 5G. Some early reports are saying 1 to 2 hours less battery life using 5G. So if you go into your settings, let's see if we can turn off 5G if you wanted to do that. So we'll go into cellular.
Oh,
Now
okay.
under
So you can
cellular
turn it
data
off.
options, you can have voice and data on 5G auto or data mode allow more data on 5G. So you can leave it on the standard mode, low data mode, or allow more data. And then also voice and data, again, you have the same options, 5G on, auto, or just LTE. So if you wanted to save some battery that way and you don't have 5G coverage where you're at, you can switch to that. Now this is also IP68 certified, 6 meters for up to 30 minutes as far as water submersion. And then also you can see this is a fingerprint magnet. Just from unboxing it and doing this video, you can see the fingerprints all over the back. Now, whether or not the glass is any stronger, being ceramic shield, it's up to 4 times more drop resistant or shatter resistant when dropping, but whether or not it's more scratch resistant is hard to say. Of course, only time will tell as far as that goes. Now, one thing to note, this is an OLED display, and it may bother some people's eyes if you're sensitive to it. I don't know many other people that mention it, but basically OLED displays control brightness by flickering the screen faster or slower, and this bothers some people's eyes. With the latest Apple displays, it's not usually an issue because they're doing it at a very fast rate, but LCD displays, such as that on the iPhone 11, don't do that. So if you're really sensitive to it, you may want to stick with an 11, but the 12 should be fine with that. The 11 Pro Max was for me, and so we'll have to wait and see. But you can't see it physically, but it does bother about 1 in 10 people's eyes. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at this phone. Now, as far as performance seems to be great. Of course, it's going to take time to know how that is over time, but the A14 CPU should obviously be very fast. Now, the back is getting a little bit warm, so that's something to note, and I think that's just because I initially set it up. Of course, I'll have to set it up with all my own apps and test it out as well, but it is a little bit warm on the back, so just keep that in mind. But the nice thing about MagSafe is it shouldn't really be warm while charging. It leaves everything well vented. And if you have a case, of course, you could always take that off. But it seems like a great way to charge. And then, of course, you can use your phone while charging if you need to with this solution. So I think that's a great way to do that. And I can't wait to see the other accessories for it as well. So that's it for the iPhone 12. Of course, I'll have to use it for a little while before I do a full review since I've only had it for a couple of hours. Now, I'm curious to know what you think of this footage since I'm recording it using the 4K camera on the iPhone 12 as well as its internal mic. I don't have a separate mic connected, but throughout the rest of the video, I was using a fairly high-end camera, a Sony a7S III. So I'm curious to know which footage you like best. Now, if you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper I had in the video, as well as the one from the iPhone 11, I'll link those in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already though, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Man, I love this phone, and I hope you guys will grab yourself some of the phone, man. It's very awesome. So guys, thank you for watching, and I hope this video is fun to watch and also gives you more insight on the phone. So thank you guys for watching. See you on the next video. Adios.